Hello everybody, it's Teresa again. It's snowing here in Kentucky. It's actually icing and snowing and sleeting and freezing raining and oh, we've got quite the weather going on outside. So, since it's cold and it's the middle of the night and there's nothing better to do, I'm going to make some soap. I have this lemon verbena fragrance that I bought from Coastal Scents, and I'm going to be honest and admit that I am terrified that this is going to accelerate on me like my monkey farts did. But I have it and I might as well give it a go. If it accelerates, then we'll make the best out of it, but I'm going to keep my fingers crossed that it doesn't. So I'm going to go ahead and get my additives in here. Give them a little stir. I should have whisked them before I did this. This is going to be a double clay soap and a beer soap. This is a, this has both Kaolin clay and Bentonite clay in it. It also has vitamin E and aloe and sodium lactate in it. My lye mixture consists of beer and sodium hydroxide, or lye, as we all know it. I know lemon verbena probably sounds like a female soap, but in all honesty, when I smell it, it smells like a very clean, fresh soap smell. So I'm going to do it as a kind of a unisex boy scent. I'm going to do it in blue. Just whizzing up my oils and my additives. Trying to get make sure there's no clumps in my clays before I add my lye mixture. And I will be straining my lye mixture because the beer seemed to scum over a little bit when I did it. So when I mixed it up. So I'm going to attempt to combat the scumminess by straining it. It may look a little unpleasant, so please forgive that. If you hear any moving around, my husband's upstairs. He went upstairs to see how much snow had fallen because the weatherman said we were supposed to be getting 1 to 2 inches per hour. I don't know what the results were. But trying to get this to stay, that's not going to work. Alright. I try to keep my lye contained so that it doesn't, my lye containers contained and isolated so they don't get on anything. And then, as you may have heard, I sprayed some alcohol on it. Alright, so we have our lye mixture here. Now, I don't want to dilly-daddle too much because I want to do some colors and I don't want this to set up on me too much. So we're going to toss. You can see that beer coming up, the color of the beer. I was watching someone the other day make some soap on YouTube, and they had a completely see-through container, and I could see that the lye, when they added it in, the lye water went straight down to the bottom underneath the oils, and which makes sense, you know, oil and water don't mix. That's why you have to blend it. But I thought it was really neat that you could see that. You could see the separation there. I soap in this this white bowl, or I actually have red ones too, but I prefer the white ones. And so I don't really get to see that very often. Well, I don't ever get to see it, but it was nice to see it for somebody else, on somebody else's soaps. I'm just looking for emulsification here, which emulsification just means that there is no more oil floating on the top of the mixture. That would mean that the lye and oil are all living happily ever after in the bowl, so to speak. They've all mixed together. Just cleaning this up just a bit. Doesn't really help or hurt anything. Right, pop that off to the side. Give this a good scraping. Mix it up. Alright, so I'm going to get this split up into my different colors. I want some white. So I'm going to go for a cup of white. I want some black. I'm going to go for a half a cup of black because I don't want very much black. And then I'm going to make some blue. I want some darker blue and some lighter blue. So I'm going to aim for some darker blue in this bowl, and we'll see what we get. I want it to be really blue, and I know that going like dark with a lot of colorant will likely cause now that is kind of dark, but will likely cause bleeding, but I'm okay with that. Like I said, this is for a boy. They could just use a dark color washcloth. It's for my boys, so okay. So now this is thickening up just a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and add in that blue, and I need to get a move on. So I'm going to add in that blue and get it mixed up. I probably am not going to stick blend this anymore. Now this is looking a little green, which is not really what I wanted at all. I wanted a blue. So I'm going to try to get some of this blue out. And if it comes out of green, then that is just going to be okay, because, well, not much I can do about it right now, and you know. We'll set that aside and get my white mixed up here. Everything's a little more yellow than normal because of the beer. Perfectly normal. Alright, I'm going to add a tad bit of this white soap into this blue to maybe lighten it up just a tad. And see if that will make it a little more of the blue that I was hoping for. And if not, which it doesn't appear to be helping very much, then we'll just have like a tealish emerald, not an emerald, but a tealish green color, blue, white, and black. And who knows, it might cure out to be a little lighter than that. Hard to tell, really. And we'll get our black mixed up. Now this black is going to be very black, because there was not very much color in there, or very much soap. But I don't want a lot of black in this soap. I want it to just be a whisper. Alright. So I really was hoping this would be more of a light blue, but it's going to be a green, so oh well. Life goes on. Give this blue a stir. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure out. This is just the container that I used for my additives. I'm going to measure out half of this container. And then I'm going to divide that fragrance that's in that container up among these as I get ready to put them into the soap. So what's going to go into the soap first, is this blue-ish, greenish color. The name of this is obviously probably going to change. It's not obvious to you, but it's obvious to me. Because now the majority of this is going to go in here. Because I was going to name this the Blue Boys or something to that effect. But that is not going to happen now. Because this is not blue. Doesn't smell very strongly, so I'm going to add a touch more. Because I don't need very much in the black at all. And I could actually leave that black unscented altogether. I'm trying to get this nice and mixed up because I don't want pockets of fragrance, but I also don't want to blend it since it was already thickening up a little bit on me. So we're going to get this into our mold. I'm just going to put the majority of it in the mold. I don't know if you can see it there, but it is most definitely more of a green than a blue, but that's okay. I'm going to leave some of this color for the top. Get in there. Bang that down a little. Clean up these sides just a tad bit. I'm not really too worried about it, but cleaning it up just a little bit won't hurt anything. Alright. Tap, 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 tap. Alright. So now I'm going to grab this blue that we have here that is actually a beautiful blue. I'm in love with this blue. And I'm going to put almost all of what's left in the fragrance oil in there and give it a stir. I have some really exciting news. Earlier this evening, my husband, out of the blue, said, "What's your email address?" I said, well, I read it off to him, or gave it to him. Oh, if we're going to have layers, we're going to have to swirl on our own with a spoon. Looks like we're going to have a saline swirl going on, but that's okay. I was really kind of wanting a drop swirl, but a saline swirl will do. But anyway, he had asked me, he's like, "What's your email address?" Thought that was rather strange. And he was just verifying, as I have, I have several. So he wanted to know which one that I used. And then I didn't even think really. I thought it was strange, and I was just like, it's this, that, and the other. And he verified it once more, and I didn't even think about it. Well, when I went to check my email, I had an email from him, and it was a order confirmation for my brand new bud cutter. Now, if you don't know what a bud cutter is, if you're new to soaping, a bud cutter is a soap cutter made by a man named Bud Haffner. His soap cutters are very popular in the soaping community, and I hear that they are among the best available. And I am the proud owner of one, and my bud cutter is supposedly going to be delivered, or, ooh, this is setting up rather fast, so I better move along. But my bud cutter is supposedly going to be delivered sometime in the next 4 to 6 weeks. But that may seem like a long time, but Bud is very busy, very, very busy. He apparently had to shut his shop down after the holidays because he had an influx of orders. And he just recently opened up again. And I was lucky enough to get in on it. Well, I didn't. My husband surprised me. And I'm so excited. I'm so, so excited. I'm not in any way affiliated with Bud, but I will put a link to his Etsy shop in the description of this video, so that if you are a soaper and you need a cutter or want a cutter, then you can go and check him out. I haven't had the opportunity to use a bud cutter, but I do know that there are a lot of soapers out there who use them. So I'm very, very excited. Very, very excited. I only got the single bar cutter, not the multi-bar cutter like some people use. They call it a tank, I believe is what they call it. I didn't get a tank. I just got a regular single bar cutter. But that's mostly because, in all honesty, I like cutting my soaps. I like the act of cutting each one and seeing each bar unveil itself as I cut through. And I don't know, that's part of what drew me to soap making, to be honest with you. I'd watch a lot of soap cutting videos. I watched Karen from Eden's Secret cut hers by hand, and she is the master. I don't. I've watched her cut so many soaps, and I'm like, how do you get it that straight? Because I have no idea how to do that. This soap is so heating up so fast. I can feel it when I touch it with my glove. It's hot. Well, it's not like burning hot, but it's definitely warm to the touch. Which is why it's accelerating. But that's the beer, and probably the lemon verbena fragrance oil. Oops, I mixed up that black a little bit. It's okay because we're going to swirl it anyway. Let's get this remainder of this blue on there. Now the blue is a little less thick than the other because the blue colorant is mixed in water and the others are mixed in oil. So with the extra water helps keep it a little more fluid, in my opinion. I don't know if that's a fact. You know, if it's wrong, then sorry. But it just seems to be, from my observation, that seems to be the cause. That seems to be what happens. Let's see. We got some more of this, the original color here. Not very much, mind you. Just a little. So I'm just going to lay it on the sides. And then we'll try to smooth it out a little bit too. the soap is moving along, but it is not soap on a stick, so not yet at least. So I can make do with it. It does hinder the process just a bit, but it's not the end of the world. I'm just gonna kind of put that in there like that. Alright. Now I don't have any black to go on the top, so and this, like I say, I am going to spoon swirl this. I'm going to attempt to spoon swirl this. So, add a little more white here that I'm going to plop on the top, down that center. Alright, I'm just using my finger. I don't know why, but I find that the finger works the best sometimes. Alright. So now I'm going to tap, 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 tap. And I'm going to grab my spoon and we're going to attempt a saline swirl. Of some sort. I'm going to turn it and we're going to do the other side. All right. Not done quite yet. That's not the top. Just so you know, that's not the top. I'm tapping out those air bubbles. Alright. Clean up the edge here a little. And then we'll texture the top. And there will be no glitter. Nah. My husband would not be happy if I put glitter on a soap that was intended for him. I'm going to go ahead and take that off of there. And I'm going to scrape down the sides here a little. Oops. Made a mess. Made a mess. So I'm going to swirl, swirl. I know you're probably looking going, stop! Stop right now! It's very rare that I have a soap that has the kind of texture that will allow me to do anything to the top of any sort. So... Just trying to make it all look quite kind of the same. All right. It's not cooperating with me. I know. Stop. Stop. Alright, I'm going to quit because I'm ruining the soap. I can hear you screaming, you're ruining the soap. Oh well. It's not exactly the way I would like the top to look. But I don't think it's bad. Maybe it is. I'm sure I'm going to watch this video and I'm going to be screaming at myself, stop ruining the soap. But, you know. It's not exactly what I had in mind. Did accelerate a little bit. But, there you have it. This is my, well, I don't know what it is. Right now it's lemon verbena. If you have any ideas what we should name it, let me know. Thank you for watching. Happy soaping. Bye-bye.